think the question relating to why haven't we got a strategy, the reality is, of course, that the anti-trade union laws are there. No longer Thatcher's anti-union laws, they're now Thatcher's, Major's, Blair's, Brown's, and these two we've got now. And we have to deal with that. And I said to you before that the most important word that I've come across in my experience, in my 42 years as a trade union member, is confidence. It is only through confidence that working people ever gain anything. Jerry's touched upon a litany of those moments where working people confidently came together. And there is absolutely no doubt that the current fights that we face require the type of alliance of resistance of the trade union movement, of community groups, of trades councils that are prepared to understand that we stand at a watershed moment within our movement. If we do not stand and fight the cuts that are rained upon us by this current government, then we will have failed. And of course, just like Jerry and just like many others within our movement, I've got no intentions of standing by if General Secretary. The leadership of our movement is essential to create the confidence that comes from rank and file people, to give them hope, to give them belief, to give them arguments of alternatives, so that we can have a poll tax moment. And just like Jerry, I was there on the streets. And when people power comes together, anything is possible. Our history tells us that. The history of the world tells us that when people join together, mountains can be moved, governments can be toppled, injustice can be confronted. That is the task and the challenge that lies ahead of us. It is only Unite, without me being arrogant, it is only us in Unite that are capable of challenging the current status quo that exists. I've got no intentions of blaming and pointing fingers at leaders in our union or other unions. I can only tell you that I recognise that in order for us to be able to defend our communities, our jobs and our services, we have to be bold. Not stupid, but bold. Bold and brave. That's why building campaigns, building people's confidence, raising the consciousness of ordinary working people is essential. Linking in with our communities, linking in with our trades councils so that we can be clever when we're involved in disputes, whilst at the same time trying to confront the question of the anti-union laws. Jerry's right when he says that you must pick a moment. You can't simply have a bland policy that says we'll take on and disregard the law whenever it hits us, because, to be blunt, that is adventurism. And that's dangerous in terms of placing the union in a difficult position. I've got no intentions, as General Secretary, of playing the employer's game and walking into traps set by them in legal cul-de-sacs. But it is true to say that when moments arrive, you do sometimes have to seize that moment. And it is about trying to build sufficient confidence amongst our members in order to achieve that particular situation. That's why this election is important. What kind of union do you want? If you want a union that fights back, if you want a union that is always there to respond to the members' needs, if you want a union that makes certain that resources are channeled to you, then that's precisely what you need to go out and fight for. I believe that I present that to you, and I would like to hope that enough of our members and our activists throughout the union recognise that they want to be part of that vision also. In relation to rates of pay of General Secretaries, the rate of pay of the General Secretary is set by the Executive Council. And whatever that rate of pay is, that's the rate of pay that I'm prepared to accept. If they decide to cut the rate of pay by 20%, that's fine by me, because it is our lay member executive who determine salaries within our union. It isn't 126,000, it isn't 120,000. It is, I think, less than 100,000, but I wouldn't know. But it's certainly a considerable sum of money, I accept that. But look, the argument that says that you have to challenge people's salary in order to reconnect them with ordinary people is a false argument. No. The reality is it wouldn't matter for one iota if you were on half the rates of pay, if there isn't a vision and a determination and a commitment to make certain that we have a culture in our union that can make lay members feel that they own this union, that they can dictate and demand the direction of the union. If we can reconnect in that fashion, if we can generate and breathe life again within our branches and our workplaces, then it is feasible for us to raise that confidence to a level where we can challenge the not only the trade union, anti-union laws, but challenge the attacks that are levelled against us by the government and by employers. Let me finish on this point, because perhaps it's the nature of elections to suggest that all is wrong in the union. Perhaps it's the nature of these type of gatherings for us to constantly criticise what happens here or what happens there. In actual fact, I think it's healthy. It's cathartic. It gives people an opportunity to raise criticisms. And Jim, as I said before, I'm a passionate believer in making certain that fear plays no part in our union. And people do have a right and will have the right to raise criticism without worrying about being marginalised or attacked. But let's not talk ourselves into some kind of downward spiral. Unite is still a powerful union. Every single day, Unite is at the forefront of fighting for better pay. When you cut away all the rhetoric, when you take away the trappings of office, when you dismiss the seduction of rubbing shoulders with the great and the good and meeting prime ministers, what we are about is simple, and it's not rocket science. It's about improving our members' pay, improving our members' conditions, defending pensions, defending jobs, defending services and defending communities. That's what we're about. And comrades, we do that every single day. Don't believe for 1 minute that we don't have gains every single day in our workplaces, in our communities, fighting back, winning for people, sorting out grievances, stopping people being dismissed. Our shop stewards do it every single day. We should be proud of our union, not talk ourselves down all the time. But can we be better? Damn right we can. The potential of Unite is fantastic. We need a leader who understands every level of our organisation. I was a shop steward, a senior shop steward in a volatile industry for 10 years. 11 years as a regional official here in the Northwest. 15 years as a national official, and now 3.5 years as an Assistant General Secretary. I've walked the talk. I've walked the talk. I've been involved in many, many disputes and won many. Lost them as well, but won them as well. Stood shoulder to shoulder with occupations. Fought for working people and everyone understands the needs of our members at every single level of our organisation. We can be better. With the right type of leadership and the right type of culture, we can release the potential of Unite that will genuinely make a massive difference to ordinary working people.